Digital Romance TV.
Welcome to Digital Romance TV. I'm Joe Amoia, founder and creator of the GPSforlove.com. Today I wanted to create a video for you that's going to help you understand why most of you are struggling in your love life. See, there's something called the love cycle. And the love cycle is actually 3 phases that you must go through to have the kind of true love that you're actually looking for. Now, we're not talking about, toilet bowl love that makes you feel crappy, or the love where you're constantly upset or you're frustrated because you're not getting your needs met. That's not what we're talking about at all. We're talking about that true everlasting love where you have that special someone by your side that's going to support you, that's going to be there for you through thick and thin. So if you've been having trouble making that happen, you're going to love this video. What I've discovered in my journey is that there are actually 3 phases that every human being must go through before they find that true everlasting love. And the first phase is the awakening phase. And this is the part where you're in your journey where you realize something's not right. It's not working for me. Why? And so you start taking a step back. You start asking questions. And this is a very important stage, because what I believe is that realization is the first step towards rehabilitation. Okay. Sometimes we're so caught up in our stuff, and we're so caught up in being victims and blaming everybody and everything, that we never ask the questions which help us discover the answers. So I find the awakening phase is probably the most critical, because if you don't realize that there's a problem, you don't realize that you're not doing things the way they should be, or maybe you're doing things incorrectly, well, then you're going to keep repeating a pattern. I know some of you are watching this, and if you look back in your love life, you see that there's this pattern. Maybe you keep getting attracted to the wrong guys. You keep attracting the wrong guys. Maybe you jump into relationships too quick. Maybe you stay in relationships way too long. Whatever it is, until you become awakened to there's this potential problem, which is the actual real cause of why you continue to struggle, unfortunately, you're going to keep repeating that pattern. So here's a little clue. I want you to look back over your past and notice if there's a pattern. Because if there is, that's a telltale sign of where you need to look to start creating better results. So after the awakening phase, and you realize that there is a problem, that you then move into the death phase. And the death phase literally is what it is, what it sounds like. And that's that phase where something's got to die. It may be a relationship. It may be a part of you. There's a part of you that's afraid. Maybe your fear has to die. Maybe you don't trust men. Maybe that has to die. There's something there. There's a part of you that must die in order for you to move forward and create the results you want. The problem with the death phase is that, just like in real life, losing someone we love, it's very uncomfortable, and it's something we don't want to deal with. So what a lot of us do is we avoid it. See, human beings have this tremendous need for certainty. And because of that, when we get into situations which make us uncomfortable, or we approach something with the fear of the unknown, we tend to stay in our known little safe worlds. There's an expression, the devil that you know is better than the devil that you don't know. How many times we stay in relationships, and we've all been guilty of this. I've done it myself, where we stayed with someone and we justified and rationalized to ourselves of why it was okay, even though we were miserable, even though we know we weren't getting our needs met, when the reality was we were simply afraid to leave. We were afraid that we may never find somebody else. We may be afraid that we'll never find another great lover. Whatever that fear is, instead of confronting it and slaying it, what we do is we run from it, and we never get the results we want. So in order to go forward, something's got to die, and that's the death phase. And after that part of you has died, and that's usually where you have to do a little work, then you get into the rebirth phase. And this is like a flower that's blooming. This is where you discover your truth. You discover the answers that you're looking for. And once you do that, from that place, you're able to create the relationship that you're really looking for. Because it kind of works like this. Let's say you want a great relationship, right? Which you want to be up here. And most people who are watching this video are at that point in their life where it's like, I'm done with the crap. I'm done with the toilet bowl love. I want to be with a guy who loves, honors, and respects me in the way I desire and deserve. And so to do that, you got to be up here. Okay. Now, the problem is that if you're down here, you haven't gone through the awakening, the death, and the rebirth phase, what's going to happen is you're going to attract a guy on this level. And even if you get that relationship, it'll never be the kind of relationship that you're really looking for. Statistics show that only 85%, that 85% of people will have these kind of relationships. Okay. They'll be okay, but these are the square pegs in a round hole. Just never really feels good. It never really feels right. Never gives you the kind of experience you're really looking for. So to get the kind of relationship you really want, you've got to attract this guy. Okay, you've got to be this person. You've got to operate from this place. And when you do, then you are able to attract this person into your life. And when he comes into your life, he's going to say, you're the best thing that ever happened to me. I don't care how many other women are out there. I don't want any of them because you make me happy and you make my life better. And if I let you get away, that's going to be the biggest mistake of my life. Now, I know part of you is watching is going, wow, this is heavy. This is a lot. And I want it to be, because I'm all about the truth, helping people get to the real cause of the relationship struggles. Look, I know you're tired of watching videos such like this. I know you're tired of reading books. I know you're tired of listening to your family members telling you what you should do and your girlfriends and all the experts. When the reality is that everything you have is within you. You just need to learn how to tap into it and learn from the past. And when you do that and you go through these phases, then you'll be in that position to create that relationship that you ultimately desire and deserve. Well, again, I know I threw a lot at you. You might want to go back and revisit this once or maybe twice more. And what I'm also going to do is invite you to, if this resonates with you, you resonate with this message, I'm going to ask you to pop over to gpsforlove.com, because these are the kind of videos, these are the kind of tips that I put out, 3 times a week, because I want to help you stay on track. It's so easy to fall off track, to get caught up in the fears and, listening to everybody and everything, and to get overwhelmed and confused. And the reality is creating a happy and fulfilling relationship is simple, but it's not easy. A lot of it is because how we operate as human beings, because we're very emotional creatures and we do things for very specific and predictable ways. So again, I know I threw a lot at you. I really hope this helps. I'd love to hear from you. After this, go back and see, are you in the awakening phase? Are you in the death phase? Are you in the rebirth phase? Okay, because you're going to be in one of those 3 phases. And that's a great place to start, because now you know the other phases you need to go through to get where you want to go. And it might take a little time, but I promise you, once you get there, it'll be so worth it. See you next time. Much love.
Did you know there's a 3-step formula to make a guy fall desperately in love with you? Go to digitalromance.tv/CHH to learn a simple method any woman can use to capture a man's heart and make him love you forever. Again, that link is digitalromance.tv/CHH.